Hey guys, what is going on? We are out here in Koh Phangan, Thailand, and today we are doing a staple workout on the bike that I do every week, and that is a low cadence strength workout. So let me tell you why I do it every week and how I found benefit from it. So today specifically, it's going to be 3 minutes, 270 watts, tempo effort, 60 cadence, 3 minutes rest, 3 minutes at 280 watts, so a bit harder effort, again at 60 cadence, and then 3 minutes recovery. And I'm going to repeat the sequence 6 times. Let's go. Okay, 3 reps down, halfway. I did all these sets going up a climb and then going down, recovering on the downhill. Now I'm going to go on the other side of the island and come back from another climb, which hopefully will help mentally. Okay, so that was a really hard session, to be honest. So I'm going to head back home and give you some insights. Let's get to it. Low cadence strength sessions on the bike. Why would you want to do them? The first reason you would want to do them is to maintain a higher power for a longer period of time. What happens is we simulate a gym session for the legs basically by doing a low cadence strength session. And this is very apparent. You can do the same session, like the same power values. You can do them at normal cadence, you can do them at low cadence. You can see for yourselves exactly how much doing them at lower cadence changes everything. You're not working the heart. The higher the cadence, the higher the heart will be. The lower the cadence, the more the legs will be working. So we will in actuality be using less our heart and more our legs. So how do we do this? Let me give you the details of today's session and what another typical session might look like. So my FTP is 300 watts. Today's session was 3 minutes at 270 watts at 60 cadence, followed by 3 minutes easy, 3 minutes at 280 watts, 60 cadence, 3 minutes easy, and repeat this whole block 6 times. So the thing is alternating low cadence with not super high power to then a recovery period and then doing it again. Today's session in particular is kind of like a base building session. It is quite different from the more we get closer to an event. And that is because today we had 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off, 3 minutes on, 3 minutes off. The closer we get to an event, the work period will become longer. So it will become 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off. And then eventually it will become 5 minutes on and 5 minutes slightly lower, or the same power value but at a higher cadence, and then repeat. And that means that basically we are outputting the same power. It might be even for 1 hour. So 5 minutes at a low cadence, let's say 270 watts, and then 5 minutes normal cadence, but the same power output. No recovery period basically. But we are recovering the legs. And these sessions helped me really break through on my cycling performance last year. I managed to sustain a higher power number during both IRONMANs, and I really found great benefit in them, and I encourage you to try them. It is no secret if you listen to any podcast, triathlon or Ironman coach, or even to some extent some cycling coaches, these sessions really are a staple in the weekly planning of any triathlete, Ironman 70.3 athlete or Ironman athlete. Let's see how to do these sessions. So how do you do these sessions? These sessions, I personally always do them either on the trainer or up a hill. Up a hill, the best way is to find a steady incline where you can just switch off the brain and keep a low cadence at a steady effort, basically. And that I find to be a tremendously good way to do these sessions. You can do these sessions on road, on gravel, wherever you want, as long as it's a steady incline. Or you could even do them on flat. I just find that on flat, it's a bit harder to find stretches of road which are super clear. They have no cars, no traffic lights, no anything. But that is depending on where you live. So you could even do them on flats. Today, for example, I had to get really creative because the longest climbs here on Koh Phangan are really short, like maybe 5-6 minute climbs. So I basically had to do the same climb over and over again. Then I went to the other side and then came back up a climb and then did the first climb again. So it wasn't great, but it gets the session done. Today, I just basically rode the work interval up and then came down and recovered and then repeated and over and over and over this. On the trainer, it's of course perfect to do these sessions. It's really, really great. I did them in preparation last year for the Ironman and they were absolutely the best way to like dial in the power and be very specific. But the thing is, I understand for many people being on the trainer every day isn't that great. So I would personally rather do the intervals on the trainer and this session outside, because this session is more about like a steady power output for a long period of time. So even if you have a little bit of fluctuations, if the grade is not perfect, I think it matters less than on an interval where the fluctuation is going to be enormous if you just have a little bit of an incline and you're doing like a 1 minute interval. So I'll personally always do intervals inside and these sessions outside. The one thing that I will say is these sessions are perfect to be done on a gravel bike, up gravel climbs. Often on gravel climbs, we are forced to maintain a lower cadence because of the nature of the terrain of these climbs that is challenging. So I personally found that oftentimes I will have to keep a lower cadence for a really long period of time, for even like 40, 50, 60 minutes. And that is actually where I figured out that this was a big breakthrough, because after doing like months of that kind of training, I realized that I could sustain a higher power for longer. Now let's get into the don'ts. Next up is the don'ts for these sessions, and the don'ts, in my opinion, is only one. Don't rush into them if you're just starting out. Injury risk with these sessions is increased because of the extra torque that we're putting on tendons, muscles, ligaments in our lower limbs. How many times a week should you do this session? Personally, I do it once a week. That's it. I do it usually either on a Tuesday or on a Thursday. The difference between the days on which I do it is given by how close I am to an event. So if I am very far away from an event, like right now we are in base building phase, today is Thursday. So I did this session on a Thursday because Tuesday was a hard bike, intervals. Wednesday was a hard run, intervals. And today is a tempo workout with low cadence. The closer I get to an event, what happens, as I've detailed in previous videos, is that I will move this session to Tuesday, because this session taxes the cardiovascular system less, and it allows me to recover a little bit more from the sessions of the weekend. The weekend is always big. That's what will happen. I'll switch this session to a Tuesday, and then I will do bike intervals on Wednesday, and then I will do the hard run today on Thursday. This, of course, is completely subject to your programming, what your coach thinks, or what you think, or what you feel. It is very important, in my opinion, to be in tune with our body and understand what it wants to do, what it can handle, what it can't handle, when it needs to rest, when we need to push sessions around. You can only be the judge of this. If you found this video useful, please consider leaving a like. It really helps with the algorithm, which has been crushing me lately. And consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this coming your way. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.